Hello, my name is Susan Hohl, and the teaching tip that I'd like to share with you today is entitled, "What is Plagiarism Anyway?" Helping students to understand where to draw the line. We all know that plagiarism is a growing problem in our academic environment. We as teachers know, and our students know. Every day we hear more and more doom stories about the rise of plagiarism at our institution and others, and every day there are more and more online resources available like temptation right there at the end of our fingertips. How do we make sure as teachers that our students can understand the difference between what's considered plagiarism and what's considered fair use? Most of us, when we design our syllabi, simply put a paragraph or two about plagiarism into the body of the text and then add a link to our institution's website and the page on academic honesty. Then we cross our fingers and hope for the best. But it's not enough. I have a background in teaching ESL and EFL, and when I've taught my advanced graduate students, particularly in writing classes, I have to teach about plagiarism from the context of cultural learning. I'd like to share with you today a resource that I've found that works also in a non-ESL, more traditional classroom where not everyone is a foreign speaker. In fact, where no one is a foreign speaker. This is a resource you may not have come across before. It's a book entitled Academic Writing for Graduate Students by John Swales and Christine Feek, and it's published by the University of Michigan. This is the first edition. The book has just come out in its third edition. In the section in the table of contents entitled Plagiarism, when you turn to that section, you will find an exercise that I think is the very best one I've ever found to help students understand what plagiarism is. The exercise, which I usually teach as an in-class exercise, includes 6 different paragraphs running in order that define different moments of citation and the problems associated with those moments, starting with the most egregious example of plagiarism and going up to the 6th example, which is an example of fair use. What I ask the students to do is to literally draw a line between the last paragraph they come across that seems to be an instance of plagiarism and the first one that they would consider an example of legitimate use. Then I ask for a show of hands to see who put the line where, and then we have a conversation. It's usually very helpful to follow this up with another reading and conversation where you would use perhaps something like The Craft of Research by Wayne Booth, published by the University of Chicago Press, or one of the other excellent resources available that talk about, in a larger sense, what plagiarism is, how it affects our academic community, and how we can guard against it. What this exercise does is, first of all, helps the students to get really clear about the different components of plagiarism and the finer shadings that can mean the difference between a successful paper and one that has a problem. It also provides a positive teaching and learning moment in which to discuss the problem of plagiarism rather than a moment that is filled of criticism and censure and the threat of punishment. I hope this is a useful example for you. Thank you very much.